Alrighty, welcome to the Swamp Sitter Podcast, episode 4. I know there's been a delay, but life gets busy. You know, on here we got the girl, we got my normal, pretty much co-host now, Biston, and we got, what you wanna...
My boy Marco, you already know the name, you already know the
he
vibes.
was here last time, but it was on our low-quality podcast, so you know we had to get him back up in here. He deserves a better shot.
Appreciate it, you already know.
So, first thing I want to talk about is fucking job onboarding, bro.
Job onboarding.
Yeah.
Get more into detail on that.
Like, Five Guys, or like, let's say Batteries Plus, you get a job, and then you gotta do like 9 or 10 hours of fucking videos, just bullshit, and it's like, I know nobody absorbs all that knowledge that fucking quick. It'd be better to teach me on the job. Like,
Yeah.
I sat there for like 4 days doing
Like
that Batteries
hands-on,
Plus
like
shit, and I absorbed a little bit of it, but yeah, I really only learned by doing it my damn self. Like,
Right.
I'll absorb like 40% of the knowledge if you sit me and make their watch videos. It's just not a good way. And then not only that, the Batteries Plus one, they make you do the same shit over and over and over and over again. And it's like, why, bro? You're paying me. You're wasting your own damn money at that point, you know what I mean? And then the Five Guys one, they were supposed to pay me for that. I never got paid. That was illegal. They made me do that shit off the clock. That's illegal as
With
hell.
a lot of videos too.
Dude, but you know that's
Like
illegal,
most.
right? You're supposed to
That is
do that
illegal.
on the clock. They made me do it off the clock. Like, fuck Five Guys for that. They pay good now, but I should have stayed. But that onboarding, that's illegal, Five Guys. I hope somebody sees this, and you know nobody's gonna see this from Five Guys. But that's still illegal, you
Shout out
fuckers.
Five Guys.
Shout out Five Guys. They tax us a motherfucker. Yeah.
They do tax on
Yeah,
the
why
same
is
food,
Five
like-
Guys so expensive? What is making Five Guys so expensive?
I don't know, because they think they need 12 employees throughout the whole day.
All I can say is working there for several years, the food is
Oh,
never
okay.
worth the money. Like
No,
never.
no.
I don't care what you get, how you're feeling that day, how much money you even make. It is not worth $10 for
Nah,
a
like-
single patty burger.
Me and my
Yeah.
girl went to fucking Five Guys a couple weeks ago, and like the burger was good. I paid for it. It was a good burger, but it wasn't worth the fucking $12 I paid for that bitch. Fuck no.
Yeah,
Right.
$12 for a burger.
Not
so
in any
much.
dude. I only had it wasn't even bacon or cheese. It was a plain
without
burger with
sides
ketchup
and
and
everything?
mustard. Yeah, like
Fries
Without,
are like $6.
without sides.
yeah,
and
no,
drink.
just the burger. And then they don't have meals at Five Guys. You gotta pay for
No
everything
meals.
separately, which is
God
fucked up.
damn.
No coupons, no
Maybe I
discounts.
could understand that much if it was like a meal, if it came with
Does
fries.
Five Guys have a military discount?
They do not. Have
Why
a
would-
military
why
discount.
would
They,
That's
Five,
fucked up.
Here. Five Guys hates the troops. Five
Yeah.
Guys hates America.
I mean-
How do you not have a military discount for the troops in a military town, bro? You got
That's a
McDill
way to
right
look at
here.
it.
I think that's fucked up. Like honestly, like how you finna tax that much for a burger and not give these niggas a military discount?
It is
I
fucked up.
think it's kind of foul.
It is.
They got other burger spots though. Right?
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying, like-
Yeah,
The competition, like, they're probably
Who's
better
their
burgers
main
and they're cheaper.
competition? Who's Five
I
Guys'
mean,
main competition?
People always compare
Burger
them to
Fi,
In and
shit
Out,
like that.
Burger Fry,
In and Out,
yeah,
Shake Shack, you know,
Shake Shack.
places like that. But
Yeah.
I think
Five
they,
Guys is just the In and Out of the East Coast.
yeah, and it's just twice the price. And
Yeah,
like,
it
I
is.
don't know. I guess they get good criticism from like
For the price of
critics
living
and
on the
stuff
East
like
Coast too, it's fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
No, for sure, dude. Like, I don't care who you are. Nobody can
Oh,
afford
yeah.
that. Even Jeff Bezos would be upset about me.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Batteries Plus, I worked there for a little bit, a couple weeks, and I can even say, I'm not even trying to hype myself up, I was the hardest working person in that Batteries Plus. They always gave me the hardest fucking jobs just because they didn't like me. And I understand if you're not working good, fire you forever, but I was working good. I was working, and I had great customer service to the point that I worked there for, 3 weeks? And I had customers already coming back asking for me to help them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making you more money. These motherfuckers are coming back to get serviced by me because they like me. So I'm making you more money. I'm doing all the hard work. I'm lifting all the batteries. Bro, when I was there,
All the
if
batteries.
I was working, they made me lift every battery. Even with all the other employees in there, they'd be like, hey, Josh, come here and lift this. It's like, bitch, lift it your damn self. Like, fuck you, bro. And long story short, I get fired for your personality doesn't mesh well here. What the fuck does that mean as long as I'm working hard?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Speaking of which, Batteries Plus lies, bro. They're trying to say their prices are going up from like Shoplifter or anything. Nobody steals from a Batteries Plus, and their prices are going up mad high,
Who's
bro.
stealing from a battery?
End of the month, they're going up like some of these batteries are going up like 25, 50. Dude, there's some batteries that are going up by 50%. I can't really tell you exactly, or they'll try to sue me because it's confidential because they don't want you to know they're taxing you on batteries.
It's like
But
beyond inflation, my boy.
no, yeah. When I got fired, I was ended up talking to the seasonal manager, and he was like, "You just don't understand stores. Like shoplifting like makes our prices go up. And I was like, no, it doesn't, bro. You being greedy is making your prices go up because you're making mad profit.
don't
You're
make the
still
prices,
up in
though.
these fucking
Or how many
he pretty
people,
much
like,
does.
on average, like, customers are in the Batteries Plus? Like, I assume, like, 1 or 2 people at a time.
Sometimes we get rushed with like a couple, but most of those people are coming in to get their key fob batteries replaced. It
Yeah,
takes like
something
2
like that.
seconds. But
Yeah.
like it's weird though. It's like I don't know if you've noticed Five Guys, Burger King, every job does this. For some reason you'll be dead, and then it's like a rush of like 5 or 6 people. It's almost like they plan it out, and they're not connected. It's like strangers.
It's
And
kind
it's
of
like
like a system, you know.
yeah, like what the fuck? Why don't y'all come and spread it out times? Why you all come at the same time? I never understood that.
Like, what time do you
They
think?
plot on it.
Yeah, it's random, but you know what I mean? It's never just one person. Like one stranger will walk in and then like 2 or 3 walking right behind him. It's like, did y'all plan this?
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
they
like
did.
maybe like an instinct thing. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
at
think
the
it's just
same
everybody
time.
like humans like a good time for one person is also
Right.
a good time for most
I mean,
other
lunchtime
people.
is lunchtime.
It ain't even
Yes,
lunchtime though. Like,
yes.
it was random throughout the day. Like so yeah, fuck Batteries Plus for that. They some lying bitches. They tax on batteries. If you go to the Tampa one though, if you go to the Tampa one, I ain't gonna name drop. Tampa, Florida, Batteries Plus on down Mabry. There's an African American girl there that's working there. Wonderful customer service. Fuck the manager though. She's a bitch, bro. She on your ass for no reason. The like regional managers cunts for no reason, bro. They just on your ass for some bullshit. I used to get yelled at for sitting down for 2 minutes when some people would sit down the whole shift. Like I swear to God, I was targeted. The owner though, I ain't gonna name drop him. Cool guy. But yeah, fuck Batteries Plus, bro. You know, like I was working my ass off, and they knew that, and your personality doesn't mesh well here. And then they tried to act like they were doing me a favor by hiring me. It's like y'all pay the same as everybody else. Y'all pay the same as Burger King, bro. And I do way more work at Batteries Plus, and I had to learn way more than a Burger King, bro. Like, so y'all ain't doing me any favors. Also, last thing about Batteries Plus, they got the worst insurance policy in my fucking life, bro. They try to sit here and talk about, oh, we got insurance, we got this, that, and the other. But their insurance, they wanted you to pay, like, for their health insurance, I think you had to pay, like, $6,000 out of pocket before they covered
What?
anything. What's the point of me having insurance at that point?
$6,000.
All my other companies, every paycheck, let's say, like, GeoPoint, it costs, like, for health insurance, I think it was, like, $14 for every
Right.
paycheck. And that was it. You went in there and they covered your ass. Same with Burger King. Same with Walmart. You paid that little bit every paycheck, and they had your ass covered. Not Batteries Plus, bro. You pay that little bit out of your paycheck, and you're giving that Dr. Bams out of your pocket before they cover anything. It's fucked up.
Health
Fuck that.
insurance in the United States is already fucked up.
Yeah, the
Fuck
healthcare
the
system
healthcare
is
system.
backwards as fuck in the
Well, I
United
mean,
States.
the only reason they can tax how they do is because the U.S. government's subsidizing it, but
Yep.
whatever. We ain't gonna get into that right now. We can later, but...
Deductibles, all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make you feel a little bit better about spending your money, but
Yeah.
you're still spending a lot of money
I don't want to
for
run
things you don't
through...
need.
I'm not gonna run through my topics, so we'll, like, shuffle around. Anybody else got a topic they want to talk about next? Like, what's we going on?
Well, I mean, hey, first and foremost, RP, PNB Rock.
Oh, I heard
Yeah,
about that. Yeah,
he
he got dropped. He got fucking splattered in front of his girl.
Dropped in
Supposedly,
Los Angeles.
She set him up.
Lily's saying she set him up.
She
I don't know how
She
true
had
that
to.
is. I don't know. I think
I don't know. I
I
don't
can
have any
explain
details
that.
for that.
I can explain
Yeah,
that
get
and
into
exactly why I
details.
think she did it. So, alright. Listen. So they're coming from, you watch us live before they get there. They're driving through the middle of nowhere. So obviously they're not driving through LA.
yeah.
There's no metropolitan traffic, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
So, they're in town for a wedding in LA. Obviously, they're outside of LA. There's 7 locations of whatever chicken restaurant they went to, whatever it's called. 7 of them. They passed multiple of them. Why did they go to the one in Inglewood? Why did they go to the most sketchy?
I said,
Whatever you
was
wanna call
PNB
it.
Rock not from Inglewood? I thought he was born there.
I mean, it don't matter. Why do you have to go? Let's say you've never been to In-N-Out before. You go
I
to
guess,
California
yeah.
for the first time. You're gonna want to go to the nicest one.
Well, yeah, but what I'm
You
saying
wanna
is
go
if
to-
he's from Inglewood, I'm not sure. I don't know where he's from, but if he was
I'm
born in
gonna look it
Inglewood, he probably wanted to go to his hood. Yeah, look
Right.
that up. If he ain't from Inglewood, then I kind of agree with you. She probably did. If he's from Inglewood, he wanted to go back to his hood. I understand
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
But but when people are after you, do you really want to go back?
Ain't
to your
nobody
hood?
after
Right,
him.
right.
Nobody was after him.
So-
It's just it was a crime of
He's from Philly.
opportunity.
He's
See-
from Philly. He's
oh,
not even
there
from
you go.
Inglewood.
Yeah.
So what's the
So,
point?
well, did she set him up, or was she just not aware that you can't just
Alright.
post your Addy
no.
where you
So
at?
listen.
How are you not aware of that?
Before this happened,
Yeah, I'm
he-
listening.
there was 3 occasions where she posted his location before. He had to take her phone and delete her social media so she stopped
So she
posting
knew.
his
Yeah,
location.
so she knew.
She
Oh, so
even
she
went
knew.
on another podcast and they were talking about how he had to delete her shit because she kept posting his location.
No,
So like she knows
so
better.
she's a dumbass.
She knows better. Or
I ain't gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. She's not a dumbass. She probably set that nigga up. I think you're right. You made a good
They
argument.
both do better, honestly, because if you
Yeah.
knew
Like-
she did it before, then
If
If
it's
she-
like a
if
common
she
knows better.
occurrence.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
I,
on top of that, why didn't she get robbed?
yeah.
she
yeah,
had a rollie
she
on
did
her
Yeah, she
not.
didn't get robbed.
She didn't get robbed.
That's
But, like,
suspicious.
Or
She didn't get
killed.
killed
She'd get
either.
touched.
That's
Yeah.
suspicious.
So
That's suspicious.
Inglewood is
That's
my dairy, I'll tell
weird.
you that. I visited
Why are
Inglewood.
you? I'm not saying you're risking your life by going to Inglewood, but
Right.
if you're wearing that flashy of a chain, you kind of are.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, if you're a celebrity and you're rich, you're risking your life. Though.
Honestly, you're gonna have
yeah,
haters.
like
People are gonna want you no matter
people
what.
wants that. People want that chain, and I don't know.
Especially if you're a rapper. Listen,
Yeah.
if you're a rapper and you're not from LA, you're not from California,
Don't
you're not
go
from
there.
and you go there and you wearing like 100K chain, you got
Right,
40 on the
absolute security.
wrist, like all this shit, and you're just sitting in a fucking chicken restaurant,
Yeah.
and you got your bitch, posting shit for
Your
you
location
on the,
and shit. Yeah.
your location where you at, where you eating, like, like.
Expect some heat.
Especially in California, because you can't
Especially.
conceal carry. You know what I mean? He wasn't concealed carrying because you're in Cali, and California is a fucked up state, a non-freedom loving state.
Yep.
He ain't with his homies, like you said. He ain't got no
No
security,
protection.
and he did know his bitch be posting that shit. So I think he slipped up, and his bitch was fucking playing with him and wanted to make a quick buck.
And on top of that, it took
I'll back
40 minutes from the original post of her posting it on her story to the time of him being shot.
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
minutes.
Not even an hour. That's insane.
40
Yeah.
minutes.
That is insane.
Like,
It's
come on
time
now.
to slide.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's,
I think we should get left to right with topics. Once you're out, we'll just go to business
Queen
topics.
Elizabeth?
Then
Are we
his
gonna talk
and
about
mine.
that?
Yeah, we
Or
will at
we
some
talk
point.
about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
president?
yeah.
She's
Talking about
lived
that
so
queen
long.
power,
Died at what,
bro.
Yeah, you know, let's go
96?
into that. Yeah.
96
Yeah, she
years
was
old.
like, yeah,
90.
90.
For a
Something like
conspiracy,
that.
just as a joke, I thought she was gonna live forever, and they were just gonna transfer her brain into another body. But realistically,
They
I thought
could do that.
I thought she was gonna hit 100. I thought she had it in her.
They probably got the connects and the money to do that type
Oh,
of shit.
y'all want to know
honestly.
something that's fucked up?
Hmm.
In the 1,500 years that there's been a queen and king of England, the new one that just took King Charles,
Yeah, King
he is the
Charles.
oldest one to take the crown at 73.
Yeah.
George Bush. Joe Biden is 6 years older than him, and we let
Bro,
him be a president. 6 years older than the oldest king ever to take the crown.
listen.
That geriatric
says
fuck.
something. That
Yeah,
says
fuck
something.
them. Fuck the queen. Fuck the whole royal family.
I don't mind him.
Especially fuck the new king's wife. That
Yeah.
bitch fucked with him knowing he was married, and they had Princess Diana killed. So
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
all of them.
The
Oh,
queen
yeah.
and
Like,
the new king's wife definitely. The queen was involved in it for sure, for the affair and everything that they didn't like that she did. But the Camilla, the new King Charles'
Fuck
new
that
wife, yeah,
bitch.
she for sure had a hand in that shit. She didn't like Diana. She expressed she didn't like him. She was fucking that nigga when they were married
She
and
was fucking
everything.
him before they were married. So what
Yeah.
happened was
Yeah,
Prince,
you're right.
whatever the fuck is Philip? Is that his name?
No,
And then
Charles.
Charles, right? And Camilla are in love or whatever, but she doesn't come from a good enough family for a prince to marry.
Yeah.
So they set up an arranged marriage between Princess Diana and Prince Philip or whatever.
Charles.
Charles. They don't even fucking matter. Prince Charles. And so it's an arranged marriage, but like Prince Charles is fucking with Camilla the whole time. So like he never stops. So like
Here's what's
he is the one that had her killed. He's the one that had Princess
I always
Diana
thought
killed
this
because
was kinda
he couldn't
fucked
just
up.
get rid of her.
is that that nigga Charles was having an affair. Nobody cares, bro. Diana has an affair and they kill her
She
in a
didn't
tunnel.
even have an affair.
Yeah, she did. She was
She didn't
fucking
have
that
an affair.
nigga.
She
No,
had a
she was fucking like an
boyfriend after.
Egyptian nigga while they were married. They were for sure
It was her
piping.
boyfriend. Well,
So,
whatever.
but that's my point though. Charles has an affair. Nobody I'll make a Joker reference. Charles has an affair and nobody bats an eye. Diana fucks some motherfucker from the Middle East and she gets blown up.
well, also.
We live
The
in a
queen might
society.
have killed her off because there was rumors that she was pregnant, and she would have
Yeah.
brought in and tainted the royal lineage.
I guess
They're all like
Fine,
that
or
now. They ain't
whatever,
fucking their cousins no
Tainted.
more, so who cares? Well, I think the thing is he was Arab. He wasn't British.
Yeah,
So-
well, it was her bodyguard.
Yeah, he was like from the UAE or something, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bisson, what's your first topic you want to bring up then?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about. So I'm gonna talk about the Soviet probes in Venus.
Ah, yeah.
So like,
in Venus, like the
Yes.
planet?
So the Soviets, they basically during the 60s, about the whole space race between the U.S. and the Soviets. So basically, the Soviets tried to one-up the Americans by they wanted to theoretically land a human on Venus. This is before we knew anything about Venus at all.
That was
it's totally fucking unknown. They only know what it looks like through a telescope.
Any human on there is a little ambitious.
So they
As opposed to
devised
Russians.
a probe in 1961 to launch just to collect data first on Venus, just to see what it's like, right?
Like that on these nuts. Sorry.
And so basically the first probe, it doesn't even make it off of the planet Earth. It doesn't even reach orbit. It just burns up in the fucking atmosphere.
That makes sense. Venus is hot.
This is during the time where everyone's still trying to figure out how to successfully make rockets to basically leave the Earth, consistently make them.
Right.
So basically throughout the 60s they tried the second one, the Venera 2. It made it almost to Venus, but in transit, it left the Earth on a rocket. In transit to Venus, it lost communications. So basically, that was a fucking scrub. That thing.
Yeah.
And then the
God
third
knows
one,
where that
I'm pretty
one
sure
went by around
I'm pretty sure it was the third and fourth probes that actually made it to Venus. They actually made it into the atmosphere of Venus.
Wow.
So
Didn't the third one only last an hour or two though?
Well, way less than that. I think this was I think it was 65 or 68, somewhere around
I think
there.
it was 68. I remember you.
I think it was the Venera 3 through 6. So yeah, it was 65 through 70 basically. They launched a couple of them. Launched about 3 more probes. They collected some data. I believe the 3 and 4, or I think the third one actually landed on Venus, on the surface of Venus, but it only lasted about several minutes until they totally lost communications and it was just destroyed because
hot.
yeah, it's hot. There's a lot of pressure on Venus. There's a lot of wind. There's an increase of sunlight as well in proximity to the sun,
Yeah.
so that
Right.
also creates
Really nowhere's in there
Pretty
at
harsh
all.
conditions to
it's
survive. down
very
there.
harsh conditions, and this is actually how we found out that there was harsh conditions was through this specific program, and so
We just
the,
think shit was sweet on Venus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like
I mean
it's
I don't know, we
like-
didn't know what to
I was
expect.
gonna say, I feel like it's a pretty safe assumption to believe that shit's hot as fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. I think they did account for that, right? They have to have some type of
heat
heat shielding just by being in space in general, because the sun affects things differently in space, as opposed to being in an atmosphere of a planet.
Right.
But so furthermore, throughout the 70s, I'm pretty sure 72 was when they had one land on Venus and actually collect. I think it was either 72 or 75 where they had a probe actually take a picture and actually transmit it from Venus to Earth, and they actually have this picture. You can find it online. It's a fucked up picture, as you would expect of something being the first man-made object to land on another planet. Was on Venus actually. It wasn't even on the moon. It was the first man-made object to land on another planet or do anything on another planet was on Venus through the Soviet space program, which is kind of cool.
Why Venus? You know why they picked Venus and not some other planet?
So just wanted to get to a planet that was closer to the sun.
They just wanted to, just collect data, because, during that period, during the space race, we had very little information, at least through extrapolating data in space, of how shit actually is in reality.
I would also say is that going to a planet farther away from the sun than Earth, comparatively to one closer, is a lot easier. So
Yeah.
going that way is easier,
logically.
but
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
closer is harder. So I feel like that's just the only one that's closer to the sun that they had a chance of going to. So
Right.
to answer your question of why
Yeah.
Venus.
Also, comparatively to something like Mars, we've had a fucking robot on Mars for more than 10 years now.
Mhm.
At this point,
And it's still cool. And
Yeah,
it sings itself happy birthday every year, which is kind of sad. It's all alone
No,
and
it's
just.
cute.
It is
Yeah.
cute, but it's all sad. It drives around Mars on his birthday, it stops and it sings itself a little song and then keeps going.
Yeah, and so they collect a lot of data. So in the 80s, they had a much they've collected data, throughout the last 2 decades before that, right? So
Yeah.
in the 80s, they basically have a pretty good, decent generalization of how conditions are, like the temperatures basically throughout the atmosphere from 0 feet sea level. I mean, it doesn't have any seas on Venus. There's
Like
no
400
there's no
degrees,
liquid,
isn't it?
but it's
Right.
it's 800. It's actually I
Oh.
think like 850 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the entire atmosphere, and it has basically, I'm pretty sure it has pressurization levels of comparatively to like a kilometer under the ocean on Earth. So it's pretty pressurized.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
It will
pressure's, like,
crush
a lot
most
of pressure.
things.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pressure's like 2 or 3 times of like normal Earth atmosphere.
Yeah.
So shit is definitely most
Not
definitely
sweet.
not sweet.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Not sweet.
Yeah.
Not
Jinx.
sweet.
Also, the winds on Venus are upwards of 220 to 250 miles per hour. So
Can I-
that thing's gonna be thrashing you around.
Can I
and,
just say,
you know.
you know how good that would feel if because obviously you couldn't do it realistically, but let's say if you were your feet were cemented to the ground, right, and you somehow it wouldn't break your bones, but how good a gust of 200 mile per hour wind would feel.
Sure,
yeah,
it'll
it
blow
could
you
go
away.
No, I'm saying if you
I think that shit
hypothetically.
would,
fucking whatever.
No, I'm saying hypothetically, if it wouldn't break your bones from the speed, and you wouldn't fly away, if you were concreted to the ground and you had bones of
That shit would
Superman,
hurt.
you would cool down instantly,
Your skin
bro.
would rip off.
That's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, if you wouldn't, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
hypothetically.
True.
It would
but
feel
realistically,
awesome.
You probably die instantly.
Oh yeah, you would die.
When you get blown away like a leaf off
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tree, just,
Yeah, anything else you want to add before Marco gets on to his first topic?
Oh yeah, one last thing. So this program, right? Also, NASA had another program
Of
similar
course
to
they
the
did, yeah.
Soviets.
Everybody
right?
had.
They always
Yeah.
had a rival program,
Soviets start a program, we gotta watch.
So NASA also has a program in the future, in the very near future. So they have a proposed date in 2028 that they want to build another new
back,
probe
yeah.
and go back to Venus to collect data, supposedly to maybe theoretically, decades or even 100 years in the future to possibly land a person on Venus or create some type of fixed space station
That's
in orbit of Venus, similar to
That's
the ISS.
I'm sorry, that's a little ridiculous in my mind.
I think it's possible.
Well, I think it's possible, it's just a little ridiculous. I mean,
Why do we have to? Okay, so I get space cool.
Maybe
whatever.
not anytime soon, but it's
Space
possible.
cool, space fun, space pretty. But what the fuck about the ocean? Why aren't we exploring
I always
the
thought we
ocean
should have
more?
finished that.
Why
Yeah.
don't there's so much about the ocean that we
True.
don't know.
so much about
Yeah.
Earth
And
in general.
why does
Like,
it?
we
Why
don't know
are we
jack shit.
exploring things out of here?
There's aliens in
there's
the
so many
Marianas
things-
Trench. You can't convince
That's
me
Also, I feel
otherwise.
like a lot of shit in the ocean, a lot of stuff that we find in the ocean is kept from the general public.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I believe to this day they discover more and more of the ocean every hour, more species.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Deeper and deeper into the ocean.
We
There's
discover
some
new
scary
species
stuff.
every year.
Yeah, it's
There
scary,
has to
scary
be
stuff.
cures to diseases in the ocean. There's probably
Yeah.
John, the
creatures
Kraken
that
was
have
real.
what?
The Kraken was technically real. It's just like a.
Kraken is just the giant squid.
No,
Giant
well, yeah,
squids?
the normal giant squids that you're thinking of, they aren't even that big. There are bigger squids than the
They're
normal
pretty
giant
big,
squid.
bro.
No, they're large. They're a couple. They're really big. They're from here, past the
Yo,
band.
okay, so
What I'm saying is there are bigger ones than giant squids,
Yo.
a different species, and that's what the Kraken was. Is a giant fucking squid that would just swallow shit.
Also giant jellyfish.
Yeah,
Oh,
jellyfish are
shit.
cool.
Yo,
Yeah.
so all y'all are from Tampa, your whole
Yeah.
lives.
Florida,
So,
Florida.
do you remember when there was a mystery eyeball that washed up on
Yeah,
shore?
it was like a crack. It was like a
And it was
giant
a
squid
squid
eye.
Oh
eye.
yeah.
It
You
was
don't
huge.
remember
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
kinda
remember
remember
seeing that at the USF Science Fair,
Hmm.
and that shit was wild. I can't imagine a creature the
Yeah.
eyeball was this big, and how is there a creature? That's just their eyeball. That's a tiny little imagine a human.
I
Our
think-
eyeball is this big.
We normally have 3 people. I think for 4 we'll go a little over the 30-minute mark. Probably 40, 45, if that's okay with y'all. So yeah, Marco, what do you got for your first topic?
Well, this is kind of out of proportion here,
Take
but
anything you want, bro.
I just want to talk about media in general and technology and
Yeah.
how
Narrow that
humans
down.
are living now. By media I mean to kind of support and kind of back up the whole PNB Rock situation. How his lady supposedly his ride or die kind of.
I want to know about ride or die, just some pussy.
We're kind of assuming here.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Just some
I don't
ride
know.
or die, literally.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
riding the McLaren and die at
Sorry,
the
what you
restaurant.
said. Yeah, whatever.
But to pretty much back up that is it's just kind of scary to me, but not really surprising that it takes such little commitment. It takes such little action.
You touch a button and someone can die.
You touch a button and you type in a couple words in a device, and it can literally get sent out to anybody. Anybody can read it. Anybody can trace it down. And you can literally risk your life by that.
I will say I've never understood especially famous people.
Right.
I've never understood their lack of cybersecurity. Like, if I look hard enough, I can find out where you live easily.
Right,
if I want to know and look hard enough, I can find out where you're going to be on this date, because they just don't care to protect their information, bro. They out here running the streets like you ain't walking around with an $8,000 chain, and like the economy ain't doing so bad that I'm going to kill you for it. And it's like, dog, economy's doing pretty fucking bad, dog. That chain looking sweet as hell. And you walking around in California, I know you ain't got a strap or nothing. You looking sweet as hell, dog.
Right.
That shit's sweet.
Yeah, just looking for the wrong answers to the biggest problems, like they're kind of taking the easy way out. They're not taking advantage of just what we really have.
I'll say another example of that is what is it called? Celebgate, when like all the celebrities, like 40 or 50 women, had their nudes leaked in the early 2000s. And it's like,
even know about that.
No, because it's like, you gotta think, all these, and they're like, oh my god, that was illegal. Yes, it was illegal. Oh my god, you invaded my privacy. But in my mind, it's like, you didn't ask for that, but you're a dumbass. You're a celebrity, and you know the world's not nice. You know people want to see you naked. And in the early 2000s, the iCloud, it was not protected at all. It was a very light security. So all you hoes, you're gonna not even look. Well, they probably didn't know how good the iCloud security was because they don't give a fuck.
Right.
But you're gonna put all of your nudes in the early 2000s on an internet cloud that is easily hackable, and you want me to feel bad for you, bitch? That's dumb as hell. If it was 2003 and I put my nudes on the cloud, my first thought is shit. If somebody wants to find this, they finna find that.
They're
shit.
gonna find it. Like I'm
So I really couldn't feel bad for them. And it's also, you're multimillionaires. Go spend $1 million on some therapy or on a degenerate sex party that y'all in Hollywood would like to have.
Some internet security.
Or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking VPN or something. Do something.
Literally anything.
This is too careless.
Anything besides putting your nudes, or just save it on your phone. Why was it on the internet cloud?
Yeah.
Right. It's
The
just,
fuck.
Shit, take some Polaroids. Put it
anything
in
right.
Anything but putting your fucking coochie on the cloud and then getting mad when I go onto Google and I want to look at Jennifer Lawrence's tits.
Never put your coochie on the cloud.
Jennifer Lawrence, oh my god, they're looking at me. Bitch, you've been in some nude scenes on TV. Why do you care if I go online and look up Jennifer Lawrence's tits and they show up?
Okay, that's more of like it's the same thing as like when girls feel comfortable going out in public in a bathing suit. The bikini is covering the same thing as your bra and underwear. It's just a matter of I feel comfortable and I feel consenting to let you see me like this now.
But it's also like, damn, bitch, you're making a big ass deal about this, but you didn't make a big deal when Harvey Weinstein made you suck his egg-shaped cock.
Well,
define what the fuck does egg-shaped cock mean? How's it egg-shaped?
Egg-shaped, it's shaped like an egg.
No, the penis though, not the balls, just the dick.
Bro, you gotta have like some type of fucked up condition.
Human development. I don't know what to
An
tell you, bro.
egg-shaped dick.
He's Harvey Weinstein.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
He's
Weinstein.
He's a vile human being.
If your last name's Weinstein, I mean, you're already kind of
That's foul. Yeah.
He's like Penguin from Batman.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Kind of got that little.
I was gonna do a comedic recap of the Vietnam War, but with 4 of us, we ran through the 30 minutes. So I think I'm gonna do that in the next episode. I think we'll do it next episode. But
the thing I want to talk about with
with
media though is like a lot of rappers, they're out here posting shit, flexing still out in the streets and shit, like Kodak. We all know Kodak.
Yeah.
Well, we're all from
He got pardoned and going back to jail because he couldn't get out the street.
He gets a presidential pardon. That's the deal of a lifetime.
Fuck
And you're
right.
back out in the streets.
Right.
Like, I understand that's who you are.
And
that's
you're a
where
millionaire
you came
though, nigga.
But you made it. Give it
I
up.
can understand
Like,
staying in the streets if you never got caught. People just think you won't get caught and you're just living that life, whatever. But nigga, you've been caught multiple times. You were gonna go to prison for life. That nigga pardons you and you're still like, oh yeah, let me go sell some Percocet.
Nah, he gets caught with 30 perks on him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, keep your perks at home.
Allegedly.
If anything, I understand. I understand Percocets.
Yeah.
I understand wanting them. I understand having them. I understand doing them. Keep them the fuck at home. Keep them at home, bro.
You got a
You're
record
never
like
too
that?
safe. You're just never too safe.
No, you never is. Especially if you're a celebrity. Some of these fucked up ass cops are gonna target your ass because they know you got that money, bro.
Yeah.
They know it.
Same thing as the YSL case. I mean, like, the
Right.
whole RICO
Oh, yeah.
case, they're targeting other rappers now. Like, they got You know, they're after Lil Baby now too. Like, they're just trying to get as many rappers thrown away to make a point, to prove a point, to scare people away from doing this shit. Like,
That's the dumb part. I thought you ain't gonna scare criminals from doing shit, bro. We know the consequences. Get
No,
the fuck up out of
unfortunately
here.
not.
allegedly.
Well, celebrities don't know the consequences, but I mean, normal criminals, you locking up celebrity ain't gonna stop normal criminals. Normal criminal, if you're a smart criminal, at least you know what you're doing. You know the consequences.
I don't
You're
know
willing to
nothing
take
about
it.
that. I never committed a crime in my life.
Well, allegedly, I don't commit any crimes. I'm just saying. As talking to I know some people involved in crime. I'm gonna name drop, of course, but they know what the consequences are if they're
Right.
caught doing what
Right.
they doing,
Yeah.
and they don't care. They're willing to accept it because they
I mean, they care.
full life criminals.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind
they,
of like
No,
all
but
they
like
know.
real criminals that are about their profession, and it's like their whole life. That's their job.
Right, if it's
They
all
know
they
the
know.
consequences.
What else
Yeah.
are
right,
they gonna do?
Yeah,
but
what
I mean,
comes
if
with
you
it.
know what the consequences are, my thing is, and then you're really about that shit, why are you not taking more measures to protect yourself?
Well, my point
Like,
was
if
is
you're
that's
making all
for
this
hardened
money-
like real life
Just
criminals.
get lost
I
in
don't
the
think
sauce, I guess.
Kodak was a. I don't think he was. He did not that he didn't know the consequences, but I don't think he meant to commit the crime. If that makes sense, he
Oh,
wasn't selling them. He was just doing them. So I
That's
thought he
still
was
a
safe.
crime. It
No, I
doesn't
know,
matter.
but I think he knows he was safe. I think he thinks.
I mean,
You know,
like,
people love to
I
assume.
get it. I get
People
it.
love to
Yeah,
assume,
yeah.
So.
Can I just say, shout out to cows for chalky milk, straight up. Shout out to
The
cows.
brown
Not sponsored.
cows.
No, I'll sponsor the cows. Hey, if I had money, I'd sponsor a dairy farm right now.
Let's
I got
sponsor
some
some
cows.
cows.
Sponsor
Shout
some-
out.
drop your dairy farms in the
Yeah,
comments.
say-
We
yeah.
will
We love
sponsor
the milk,
you.
but-
Hey, and shout out to Hershey's for inventing chocolate
Nice.
syrup. That powdered chocolate milk shit. Do I
Man.
look like an African to you?
Yeah, like cocoa powder.
God, that shit's so. Nah, cause like it tastes like chocolate, but like no matter how good
It's
you mix
made.
that shit in, you're getting like sand in your mouth, like chocolate powder. Like I don't need a chalky ass drink. Like
Yeah,
I'm good.
it like tastes chalky. Yeah.
Yeah, like fuck. Why do I look like grinding up fucking chalk into my milk?
Well,
But yeah.
Like Nesquik, the
Yeah.
powdered
Mhm.
shit.
I mean, I grew up on that,
I
but
like Nesquik, but like
Well,
but
Nesquik
like
is classic.
syrup,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
that's
I don't
some
know if
shit.
it
I
compares
got,
to like.
I got one more
Hershey's
short topic, and then we'll go to you again. Europeans and their superiority, but they can't even afford AC units.
Why do y'all
Like-
walk around in those outfits?
No, but hold on,
Give
that's
the
who I was gonna
Gucci
say.
logos up.
Listen,
bro.
listen
like,
though, hear me out. Spain, right? They had a record summer this year, right? 1,500 people died from heat because they don't have any AC units, bro. 1,500!
It gets hot as
And y'all
fuck
want to
in
sit
Spain.
Fix your
here,
infrastructure.
I got family out
Americans
there,
do
goddamn.
this, Americans do that. Yeah, but if it gets hot here, I'm gonna go to the fucking side and go to an AC unit. If it gets hot here, my grandma isn't gonna die from heat exhaustion because
Right.
we don't get taxed 60%, so I can buy an AC unit. We're getting there because Americans are dumb as fuck and we just are morons and we don't see how good we got it because we want to listen
Exactly.
to these Euro
Taking
poors
shit for
bitch and
granted.
complain.
Hey, we gotta look at Europe as like an example because that's
Right.
what's coming to us next.
Well, yeah, what I think it is it's Americans hearing uneducated Europeans, like they'll make uneducated ass points about why America's bad, and then Americans who are just as dumb, because most people nowadays are dumb, will take it at face value and go, oh my god, he's right, America's bad. No, it ain't, bro. Go live in Europe. That shit's hell. If you're used
Yes.
to America,
Yeah,
it's hell.
yeah.
If you're a freedom-loving, real American, you won't like it. It ain't better. It's worse. I promise.
And I mean, like, even if you
It might
know-
look pretty, but you don't want to live there.
Yeah, and
Fuck
even
no.
as someone that has family that lives in Europe, like that's facts. Like,
That's
no
facts.
matter how much you want
They'd
to say,
prefer their ass
oh,
to live in
Europe is
Florida."
more progressive. Europe is more progressive. Okay, but what is that getting you when you don't have any? You know,
Yeah,
you don't
what
have running
costs?
water
Fuck
in your house in
progressivism,
some countries.
bro. No, not only that, they have to. You can't run as much electricity as you want because they're so fucking broke and stupid. They relied on Russia for power. Germany, bro. Germany wants to retire nuclear energy, which is clean as hell. It's clean energy. They want to retire all their nuclear power plants in the name of progressivism. Well, it's cool to
That's
be
compared
progressive,
to what?
dog. I hope y'all niggas like living in the dark. Like,
Where like nuclear
Right.
energy is compared to what? What is cleaner than nuclear energy? That's like-
exactly.
it is literally natural energy, like nuclear fusion.
They'd rather close down their nuclear power plants and fucking buy oil or gas from third world countries. That's not very progressive of you, bro.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
not very
ass backwards.
evolutionary. It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
going back. Yeah, it's kind of
So
going
you
back
wanna
in
come
time.
and do
I
what
think
America does.
progressivism is ass backwards, and It's a type of activism that I think the governments of the
It's a
world
fucking
have
scam.
used to push dumb citizens into making their lives worse.
Yeah, it's indentured
Yeah.
slavery.
Because
Might
most
be
of
a
these
money
people
saver,
that
too.
push for progressivism, most of these progressives and these leftists are honestly really dumb. They have no sense of the world. They have no sense of consequences. They don't know shit. Buy an electric car. Buy a Tesla. Hey, guess what? 90% of America's power, not 90%, it's like 70-something% of America's power, most counties still run off of coal fucking power plants. So you want to buy all these electric cars, California, you want to buy all these electric cars, but you shut down fucking,
They're having blackouts in
yeah, I was
California.
gonna say, they
Right,
shut down.
right.
You shut down your coal power plants. Then you make gas cars illegal. And then a week after they made gas cars legal, they said, "Oh, please don't charge your electric cars for a while. It's gonna make the power grid shut off
They're
because
like, you
we
can't
closed
charge them
down
at
yeah,
night or something.
because we
Yeah.
closed down all of our coal plants." And it's like, so now why the fuck did I buy an electric car? You fucked me on purpose, government.
Yeah, charge
So,
your car, but you can't charge your
Another
fucking
thing
phone.
with California, we've been talking about California.
Because
a lot.
fuck California, y'all
Yeah,
ain't
fuck
dumb.
California. But they want to spend all this money on trying to get people to get electric cars and all this, that, and the other.
Their
but
state's in millions of dollars in debt.
Not
How
even
is a
just
state
that, but they got
in
Skid
millions of
Row
debt?
still.
Like hundreds
They have
of millions.
thousands of people living on the streets.
You told me
in
a
its
number.
own
How many
city.
people a month in San Francisco become homeless on average? I remember you telling
Too
me a number.
fucking many. It doesn't matter how
Bro,
many.
you-
I don't
You
remember.
wanna know
No, hold on,
something?
real quick. Hold on, real quick. I remember her. I guess she doesn't remember the number right now. But I remember her looking into San
I want to say
Francisco's.
it's like 12,000
I was gonna
people.
say no, it's not 12,000. Maybe 1,200.
I think it's like
But I remember
50,000
her. No, yeah, well, in total. But I remember her saying every month that like 1,200
it's
people,
1,200
around
people.
1,000 people new people become homeless every month in San Francisco.
Not just San Francisco, LA.
Here's where the
I like
irony
it, yeah.
plays into all of it. There's a bill in fucking California, and this bill is getting $1 billion in funds to specifically combat homelessness, and no one sees a fucking dime of that.
No.
Where does this $1 billion go?
Where'd
Where'd it go? Yeah,
Where
all
does it
these
go?
homeless people are still homeless. Where'd it go? Or you'll see
$1 billion.
videos of
Just for
they'll-
homelessness, for
their
nothing
policies,
That's
their
crazy.
expensive ass policies made these people homeless. Like, okay, there's some people that are drug addicts, but I would even go to admit most of these people that are homeless in California are homeless because of these terrible governmental policies, right?
But also,
And then you'll see these videos of them. A, they're not helping anybody. B, you caused the homelessness, and then they go into Skid Row and like knock down tents and shit. Like,
else. Like, what the fuck?
That's
What do you
bro,
expect people to do?
you're
Like,
lucky somebody
know,
hasn't
like-
organized these homeless people to start fucking killing cops. Because the amount of homeless people in San Francisco could overpower the San Francisco Police Department. I promise you.
Easily.
You're lucky these niggas are just sadly just taking their situation to the dick.
yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah,
fucked
like,
up.
I mean, at that point, you'd have to call in like the National Guard, and you had a real civil rights situation there
Yeah.
with homeless people.
And then at that
Like,
point, if you
know?
call in the National Guard to fight homeless people, you're gonna have people from other states coming to fight the National Guard.
Exactly, because they're making these people homeless,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, just don't be homeless. That's it. Just don't."
A lot easier said than done, buddy.
You
I'll
can't
Just
afford
don't.
gas, buy an
What?
electric car.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Like,
Fuck
they're
you,
living in a
Lincoln.
tent, bro. How are
Yeah.
you gonna buy an electric car? The
These
fuck?
government people are so out of touch with normal people because they've never had to work a day in their life. They've never been broke.
Yeah,
Nobody
we
in the
need to-
government has lived paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I think if
Well,
we had,
some,
if
very
we,
little.
If we could
Right.
see a government where there was heads of in charge of power that experienced living paycheck to paycheck, experienced ever, wondering if food was going to be on your table, ever if the electricity was going to get shut off, we
Right.
would see a very different country, and there would be a lot more compassion for homeless people. There would be a lot more treatment for people with addiction
Not only that,
problems.
we would also
There
put
would be-
people in front of progressivism. That's not right. These people are these progressives and these leftists, oh my god, we care about people, we care about the environment, but they're willing to kill homeless people in the name of owning a Tesla. They are willing to have people overdose and die and starve in the street just so they can own a Tesla.
Yeah, like the class disparity. You know what I
Disgusting.
mean? You got
Class
like Beverly
disparity.
Hills and shit, like $40 million mansions, driving Ferraris and shit, and then you got like Skid Row, where like it's tens of thousands of people who
That's
are
another
like
thing. Most of
living
these
in
leftists,
tents.
yeah,
Well,
that's another thing.
Eagle-
Most of
Eagle
these
was an
leftists and
example, too.
progressivisms have the same, and progressives have the same problem as politicians. They were never living in paycheck to paycheck, I promise you, or you'd put people in front of your fucking progressive values, which, if you look at it, aren't very fucking progressive. How many people died because they couldn't afford a fucking house or food so you could own that fucking Tesla?
Yeah.
Too many.
It's
Jack,
fucked up.
how many people are freezing to death every year in this country because they're homeless? just in the name of you raising taxes so you can afford electric cars, or so we don't, to shut down coal plants, to kill jobs because they cause pollution or this, that, and the other. Nigga, I don't care about pollution if you lay me off and I'm not homeless with all my kids
Yeah,
and
it's
family.
the least of your problems, literally.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah, I just
Like-
feel like. Go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
get protecting the planet. Like, I care about the oceans, you know. Of course I do. Grew up
But
in
there's
Florida.
a
I
medium
grew up
ground.
on the
We can
water.
protect the world and not have people be homeless and
Right,
starve and die.
right. I think there's a place for some people to protect, you know, the planet. It's very important. But at the same time, you can't take that money
No.
out of people that still need that money. We don't need to take that money from, well, like, why are billionaires still able to go and fly their private jets and
Yeah.
produce thousands and thousands of pounds of carbon emissions?
But if I don't recycle, y'all make me feel like an evil person.
Exactly,
Right.
like, exactly.
And I would
It's always
also
you
Like
can
the
do your
cobalt
part,
mines that
yeah.
are used to fucking mine cobalt.
I
No
forgot
one
what
talks
I-
about that, or the
lithium for,
child
like,
labor done in
batteries
lithium
and shit.
mines.
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say.
No
but
one
it
wants to
doesn't
talk
matter.
about the
Continue.
child
That's in a
labor.
different country, so that doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
India and China produce the majority of the world's pollution. All Western countries have dropped their pollution and their carbon emissions by a lot. But nobody bitches about China and India because China especially because we let their ass on the UN Security
Yeah, I'm
Council.
pretty
like
sure
idiots.
China alone produces like 60% of like the
No,
entire
that's what I'm saying,
world's
and nobody will
pollution.
bitch about them. It's only Western citizens that need to watch their carbon output. Somehow, it's only the West that is killing the country.
I think the issue
That
is
doesn't
we
make
need to
sense.
stop like placing blame on the average citizen
fuck
when
no.
it comes to carbon emissions because
Well, it's the enemy
if
of the
you
elite.
really look at it, the average citizen is really not doesn't have
Or-
a large carbon footprint.
Or
It's
they'll raise our
billionaires and
food prices
corporations.
by shutting down cow farms because cows produce carbon. Hey, what about
It's a
what about?
fucking cow.
No,
bro.
but like you'll see Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He'll go on TV and be like, "Oh my God, we need to limit carbon emissions. We need to stop eating meat. We need to close down these cow farms, which are gonna make people starve and make people lose their jobs." But I gotta go to Europe in my private jet after this. See y'all. In that private jet flight from California to Europe, I've produced more carbon than 1,000 cows.
Yeah, and also the
But
thing
don't
with-
forget to recycle. If you don't recycle, you're a scumbag.
Yeah, and that's another
Yeah,
thing
thanks,
with
bro.
being vegan, being vegetarian, whatever. People love to push this like, oh, what about the animals? Okay, some people can't afford to be vegan.
No, I can't.
They just
Just
can't.
can't.
Vegan food is more expensive.
And you get
And-
villainized for that.
Vegan food is more expensive. Vegetarian food is more expensive. It's expensive to feed yourself and give yourself enough protein without milk. Milk is cheap. It's something
Yeah, it
cheap
is.
that you can consume to keep yourself going.
And you get, it has a lot of nutrients, yeah.
Yeah. Stop like villainizing average citizens. I think we need to, as a whole country, turn the blame towards corporations
Yeah.
because that's who's
Yeah,
doing it.
monopoly.
Or
Please.
foreign countries.
Foreign countries too,
I,
but it's not even the average
yeah.
person in a
No,
foreign
for sure.
country. It's never.
For sure,
It's
for
never
sure.
the
It's these
citizens.
gigafactories. It's Apple's super factory in
Yeah.
China. It's Walmart's fucking super factories pumping out these cheap shits in China. I will say though, we have around 10 minutes. So anybody got a couple of things they urgently want to say? Tristan, you want to? Sorry, I don't mean to
No, you're
skip
good.
you, but let's try to get on to. You got another topic you want to bring up real quick, a short one, and we'll get to Marco, and then
Let's
we'll close it out. Malcolm, what he's
You
thinking?
know,
Marco, what he's thinking? You got
honestly,
anything?
You know what I'm gonna say? The prevalence of unmanned technologies
That's so
is
scary,
becoming
yeah.
very, very prevalent now that we're in the 2020s. The initial development for this was, early 2000s and stuff.
Yeah,
Where we started getting, mainstream
And
like
MP1s
robots and stuff, just
shit
for
like that,
anything,
yeah.
like humanoid robots that do menial tasks, like factory robots to
That's what
like
started out,
military
yeah,
drones
yeah,
and things
drones,
like
big,
this.
large drones, yeah.
Like this is gonna be something that is like not gonna go away, and we're gonna see more and more of it as the years go by.
Oh,
It's gonna
yeah.
become more common to have cars that drive themselves, seeing like delivery robots, things like this, and it's gonna take away from not only take away from jobs and things like that, although there's a way to mitigate that, but just in general, I feel like the main thing though is like military drones.
Yeah.
That technology specifically is like developing extremely rapidly
Did you
in the
see the
2020s.
Did you see the video of I think it was at Fort Irwin of them like training on like a armored assault, and they had like a swarm of like 40 drones going
Yeah.
in front of them, and like some of them had ISR equipment, some of them
Yeah.
had
With ISR
explosive
or, like,
payloads.
yeah,
Yeah,
explosive
it was a group of like
HE.
40 drones that could do the whole
It's a swarm.
that
man.
could do the whole. I can't think of the word, but the whole length of military duties. They had, like I said, they had some of them spotting. They had some with ISR
I mean,
capabilities.
there's
and
drones
then they had
that
some
are
to
like
attack and
have
bomb.
weapons. There's drones that transport. All different types.
Or
There's
like
ground
with Ukraine,
drones.
you can
UGVs.
anybody can turn a little $300 quadcopter into a thing that drops little hand grenades
little like
or bombs
mortars or like
anything.
like stuff like that. Like
It's
you know,
happening
like,
today. I could do it if I was a fucking Haji. I could do it today.
I mean, yeah, like even in Middle Eastern countries, they're starting to get stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
You know, like
Saudi Arabian oil facilities have been attacked by the Houthis like that.
yeah, exactly, right? Like and
It's fucking crazy.
what also another thing that scares me is like the prospect of unmanned flights.
Yeah.
Like commercial
I don't like
flights.
that. I wouldn't do it.
Trust that.
I don't know if that'll.
Flights. Oh god.
I don't know if that'll ever actually come into
So-
play,
Well,
but
Remember being a kid and there were debates on if drones would actually take off. Remember that? Like I think this is a dead end. I think it's not a technology that'll flourish. It's like, look at those idiots now.
yeah,
Where the fuck
man.
are you now?
But the thing with unmanned flights, like you were talking about, so I grew up with a dad that works in the aviation industry, and
Uh-huh.
there's a million different things that can go wrong when
plane,
you're
yeah.
flying a plane.
Yeah.
Right. And
There are a lot of
there's
jobs
a
that
lot of
people have
things
to
that
do
robots can
for
fix. They
quick
can
decision making.
error. They can correct. But like
But it's a program. They
you
can only
need the
do
human
certain amounts.
touch.
Yeah.
You need the human touch to not only make sure that the way the plane is flying is comfortable, but also safe.
I
Like
don't
you
care
can
about
see
comfortability.
things. I mean, but people that are paying $800 for $800
I think
for
what
a
you're getting
ticket
is
want-
robots can't troubleshoot. They only
No.
the
Especially not
programs.
in real time.
Programs
Not
are
yet,
a
at
linear.
least.
Yeah, programs are a linear program. Like if A happens, you do B. You know what I mean? It's not. They can't sit there. A
And-
human can go. Oh, I
right.
gotta look at this. I gotta look at that. I gotta
Right.
figure this out.
And what happens in the case of of a terrorist attack again? 9/11 just happened. But
Well, that might be all. That might be able to help with that because if you take out the cockpit, you can't have a terrorist. Well, they can hack into it, but
that's
you
what
can't
I'm
have
saying.
you
can
can't have
remotely.
somebody
I'm
on
not
it.
talking about someone
Yeah,
busting into the cockpit and holding you at gunpoint.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about someone remotely hacking into the
No, that makes
into
sense,
the
yeah.
into the computer and flying a plane down and
Yeah,
all
It's
It's
over
totally
you.
possible.
You want to finish this point so we can have him get into this? And
I'm done.
okay, yeah. What's your? You got one more? You got one more topic for us, bro?
I mean, yeah, we've been talking a lot about technology and like today's world compared to past year's world, especially in America and in all foreign countries. Just I understand how diversity can be a good thing. How we have different colored people, different kinds of people, different jobs, different business, different professions.
Watch where you're going with
Classes,
this. YouTube
levels.
might fucking delete everything.
Listen, I'm just saying it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because people love to put labels on everything. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that's just very damaging to the
Yeah.
point where they don't even comprehend how damaging that fucking decision can do and how long that fucking damage can last. And especially with, technology going up and people focusing on the wrong topics, the things that are trending, like,
Yeah.
oh, the new iPhone 14 came out, but fucking it's the exact same as the iPhone
You
13.
see, Steve Jobs' daughter was clowning on
Yeah,
Apple.
she literally clowned on her father's shit. And like, that's whatever, whatever
he's
you
dead,
think
yeah.
about that.
Dad's company.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not
dead.
his anymore. I guess.
Yeah,
It's
so-
not his, but yeah.
It's just all that
If
shit.
it was, they'd actually produce probably like good upgrades. Because the reason they do that, the reason they slowly upgrade everything is to milk money. Because you got to think, everything that they added on the iPhone 14, they could have added onto the iPhone 9. Well, not
Right.
really, they didn't make that the 8. But you slowly add one little feature so that you can keep making new phones, so that these fucking morons will go and buy the new one for this tiny little feature.
Well, yeah, it's a marketing plan.
Yeah.
It's called planned
Yeah.
obsolescence.
Like
So,
waiting
yeah.
a year every time to get a new phone when it could be
I think
done in
that's
like
a
a couple
different
months.
thing.
You buy the
because-
new phone, a year it stops working.
Right.
They're like, oh, we got a new one
Well,
that fixes this
I
problem.
think it's a
right?
dual-sided sword, so it's not really that. Of course, you're right. They have planned obsolescence, but I think that is the other side of it. So the first one is they slowly implement upgrades to convince you to get it, but at the same time, like you said, they plan for your old phones to get slower and to do, you know what I mean, so that they can push you. So it's like, oh, it has all these new features, and isn't your iPhone 8 going slow now? Isn't that
They're like,
battery
oh, it's
suck?
not good anymore.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like,
come on,
you
bro.
know, just come buy a new one.
That's always been an issue with Apple.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
always downgrade the older phones, and once the new one comes out, oh hey, that one works way better. So why don't
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
that?
But what were you saying before we went on that tangent about Apple? It sounded something about it seemed along the lines of separating people.
Yeah, I wanted to focus more on like like trendiness, like things that are relevant nowadays, which to me just make no fucking sense.
People aren't unique anymore. Nobody's unique.
People aren't unique. Yes, media is definitely just brainwashing everybody.
Oh, yeah, mainstream
Not
media
just
is
social
fucking-
media, but media in general.
Mainstream media is a fucking.
Like, this is something that really bothered me earlier. My little brother, he was watching a video of, again, when PNB was dead.
Yeah.
Or when he died, not when he was dead.
When he was
this
dead.
happened yesterday, but, you know, RIP him again. Rest in
Right.
peace. And, you know, condolences to his family. But it was a video of some random just filming him on the floor, like, literally bleeding to death.
Yeah,
And-
or remember
Yeah.
when King Von died and they had a picture the
Yeah,
same
they
day of
posted
him
a
fucking
picture of him.
blue?
Yeah,
Like
like
just
dead?
taking a picture, like
Just
nobody's like helping and shit. They'll just like
Yeah.
take a
There's
picture
no
of it for
fucking
clout.
empathy anymore. You
It's
gotta
like-
get the views. You'd rather get the views and the clicks than help
Yeah,
somebody
I think-
dying.
Yeah.
Something we don't
Fucked
talk about
up.
a lot is how social media really strips a lot of people of humanity. Like, for
Humanity.
example, there's a channel called Soft White Underbelly. It's an interesting
Mhm.
channel.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
you know,
bro,
you
come
have this, you know, white
Lucius.
dude that
Wants to join.
came.
Come here, buddy.
We have a guest appearance.
A guest
Come here, buddy.
appearance.
This is our mascot, Lucius. He's
He's
a
our
giant
boy.
cat. You can't really see it from here, but he's huge. Oh, he's a little camera shy.
Done.
He's
You know, a
shy.
little cameo.
He's right there,
It's
though.
alright. It's alright,
Yeah,
little-
but,
little
you know,
cameo.
Okay, you want to finish this?
Social media strips
before
people
Steve
of their
finishes up?
humanity,
Yeah.
and you know, I forgot where I was going with that.
Okay.
Like it's so
Yeah,
it's
I
so
get it.
easy to say fuck you to somebody through the internet
Yeah.
than saying it to somebody's face.
Yeah.
That
You know,
too.
like-
And yeah, so the channel I was talking about, Soft White Underbelly. At the end of the day, it's a white guy that came from a rich family going on to Skid Row,
Right.
and you know, interviewing
Humanizing
people.
these people.
No, dehumanizing these people. He's exploiting these like.
I don't
People-
know. I don't think I would call it that. I think
I don't
he's
know.
I think he's shining light on these people's lives.
He's shining light on these.
Some of
people,
these things he
but-
asks are out of pocket, but I feel like it's only because of where he comes from. He doesn't
It's just his
realize they're out of
personality,
pocket.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
I
saying?
get, yeah.
I wouldn't say he's exploiting them, but it's up to you. It's different
But
perspectives.
at the same time, you know, there's a way to go about it, and we don't have to, you know, go out on the street and pull a 13-year-old prostitute and ask her,
Well,
how'd you get into the game?
yeah,
Oh, what's
we
the
can,
worst thing that ever happened to
We
you?
can continue this conversation in another
Instead,
episode. I don't want
the
to
way
take
that
it
you
now.
should go is more, you know, oh, you're
I guess.
13 and you're out on the streets fending for yourself. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I get it, but yeah, we can
But-
continue this conversation on another episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't want it to hit
We
an
just
hour.
don't have to out people on the whole, because, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I
The
get
last
what
thing I
you
have to say though is just digital footprint exists, and taking
Celebrities
these
don't think
people
about that.
and throwing them on the internet and being like labeling them as 13-year-old prostitute on Skid Row is not a
Yeah.
good digital footprint if she
Yeah,
ever gets to the
yes.
point where she's able to clean up. her
But
life.
Yeah.
last thing I wanted to say, just before we close this up and do the final thing, is Azerbaijan attacked Armenia again. I always support Armenia, but I'm having trouble having empathy with them because you look at the citizens of Armenia, and if they're not in the military, the citizens, civilians, they don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Their brothers and
No.
sisters are dying, and they're out in the club. Or their government doesn't care either. They've known that they're going to have to fight these wars for decades. They haven't upgraded their military. They haven't spent money on useful training or anything. And then the war starts. They're like, oh my God, help me, send me aid, this, that, and the other. And it's like, why, bitch? You've known this was going to happen. You sat there and didn't do anything.
Honestly,
So I feel for them, but I have trouble still having empathy over and over again.
I mean, they literally are genociding them with
Yeah.
unmanned drones.
and I don't know if
Kamikaze
this is a
drones.
kind of a, you know, out-of-pocket take, but I think part of it may have been them seeing Ukraine and seeing the way
Yeah,
that
the
we've
help.
come to support
Well,
Ukraine,
that's
which
the
is
thing.
not
I
a
was gonna say,
bad.
but they had a war before the war in Ukraine, like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
they
2020 war.
And like, okay, so
Yeah.
for example,
They're
they
going
had a
to
war in
Karabakh.
'94. They won, and they got complacent. And I guess that makes sense. But they knew they were going to come back, and they didn't do anything to upgrade their shit. They had a war in I think
It's just like
2020,
the newer
Yeah.
generation.
and
you know
they
what I mean?
lost. And they still haven't upgraded anything. They still haven't bought new military equipment. So I have trouble feeling bad. Like, you know they're going to come back. But I think this was a great episode. This was probably one of our best. This is
conversation.
episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foe,
Out
there
to
we go.
everybody, yeah. Dap me up, everybody. Let's.
Yeah.
And this is the end of the Swamp City podcast,
Rip,
episode
Rip,
4.
Rip.
PNB Rock,
Rep
and
PNB Rock.
R.I.P. PNB Rock.
and fuck
And,
the Queen.
The Queen's
Fuck
alright.
the
Fuck
Queen,
the
Queen.
rest
Rest
in
in
peace,
peace,
PNB.
yeah.
I respect
But,
the ones you lost too. Respect them and give them the freedom they really ever wanted, because that's
Yeah.
when they're really free. When you're not on
And
the surf anymore.
I think
unfortunately.
a theme I'd like to put out before I end this is if you got something worth fighting for, fucking get out there and fight for it, bro. Be willing to put your life on the line or shut up about it. I'm so sorry.
Right, right.
Like, I'm willing to support you if your cause is right, but I'm not gonna support you for you. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna stand up for you if you're not gonna fucking stand up. I'm not gonna carry you and kill myself over that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you got a cause, stand the fuck up and fight for it, and people will join you. People like that. People like you standing up, and if you stand up for yourself, somebody's gonna stand up right fucking next to you and be like, let's go, bro, let's get this shit.
Just like Ukraine, every one of those motherfuckers
They stood up,
there,
and guess how many people have been to Ukraine? Guess you know what I mean? How many volunteers
Foreign
went to
Legion,
Ukraine?
everything,
How many money have we given them because the Ukraine stood the fuck up and were like, if y'all are coming, cool. If you're not, I'm still getting the fuck up out here.
Doesn't just apply for war though. Shit,
That's everything,
if you're out
yeah.
there getting bullied and shit.
Whoop
Punch
that
them right
nigga's
the
ass.
fuck back.
He probably ain't expecting it, but
Yeah, wait, hold on. I want to say one last thing. So, like, I just want to say this. Like, don't be afraid to, like, take risks in life.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like, life is way too short just to, like, be complacent, you know what I mean? And just, like, you know, not get out there and, like, just do something, right? Just do something, even if it's not for anybody else, even if it's not for money. Do something for yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go out there, go touch some fucking grass, go experience life, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are like too sucked into their phones or like the internet or their computer or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, go experience things.
So that was episode 4. I think this was the best one we've had. I like close it out. Everybody have a good night.
Stay safe.
Stay safe for real. Don't be putting your information up out there. And really, I hope y'all like the ramblings. This is really all this is. This is us just rambling because we ain't got shit else to do. I hope y'all like it. And like she said, stay safe out there. And that's the end of Swamp Steer episode 4.
You already know.